I decided to do something a little different today with a review video. You know, even with the executive order for the state of Maryland, we are allowed to go out and do some recreational exercise. Exercise is very important to me, and I'm gonna just briefly go into why. Over the course of 2 years, I have dropped over 60 pounds and been able to maintain it. Thank the Lord, my Apple Watch, and a good strong will to want to lose weight and maintain. Anyway, long story short, I hike a lot. I do a lot of things outside. I'm very, I don't sit around at the house. And this COVID-19, with respect to everything and everyone that's on the front lines, maintaining social distance, there's only so much. I have to get out and do something. So what I wanted to do was do a hike today, something that's not going to be, you know, life-threatening, something easy, just something to get out and get some exercise. And while I figured I was out, I would do a little bit of a review, one of these cool little fuel tab burner, lightweight, ultra lightweight AceCamp camping stoves. So I'm heading down to the very, very south Charles County, Nanjemoy, where I was born and raised pretty much. And there's a place down there that I like to go hiking that's really off the beaten path. There's no one that's out there. So social distancing is great, but it's not too far. You know, God forbid that something should happen to where I can't reach out to one of my buddies to come give me a hand and pick me up. Because the last thing I want to do is put someone on the front lines in jeopardy by having to come take care of me. Done this hike many, many times. Very easy, very moderate, very safe, and very pretty good scenery where I'm going. So stay tuned. I'm going to chime back in here when I get down there and get set up, and I'm going to cook a little lunch on the beach today. Weather's good, wind's low, a little chilly, hence the reason why I'm not on the motorcycle, which I know, and I'll suffer whatever comments I may get for that, but it is what it is. I got to get out, I got to do something, and I want to be responsible about doing it. So. Okay, so I've been driving for about 20 minutes, and I'm here. I'm at Douglas Point Recreation Area down in Nanjemoy, Maryland. I'm going to stop here and switch all my gear around, put my backpack on, and get ready to head out and start hiking down the trail. You know, I'm realizing that I don't even know why I thought of it. I guess I'm brain trained. I'm out in the middle of nowhere on a trail with no one around me. I don't need to cover my face right now. Doesn't even make sense. So that was kind of a cool remnants of an old house and some outbuildings. I'm just gonna throw up the actual historical plaques. You could zoom in, pause them, read them, whatever you want. It's Douglas Point. There's a lot of stories about this location, what it was used for, and ghosts, if you will. I just wanted to throw it out there. That was from, let me see if I can rephrase that. So one of my former hobbies was a documentarian, and I filmed and produced 9 paranormal documentaries. Some are still for sale on Amazon, but I moved away from that. Had a lot of fun, met a lot of cool people, but just traveled all over the world. Did some investigating in castles in Ireland. saw some things, heard some things, but unfortunately I didn't switch my YouTube account when I should have, when they switched over to Google years ago, and I lost everything. The YouTube channel is still up. I still have a butt ton of subscribers on there and thousands of views on my videos, but I can't connect them to this channel. I don't even know if those folks would even want to be part of this new channel of what I'm doing, but I just really wish I didn't lose all those subscribers and everything I've built over a 10-year period, with help from some friends of mine who I'm still in contact with. But that was a former part of my life, so seeing that kind of reminded me of the old ghost hunting days and travel and all that good stuff. A lot of fun. Who knows, maybe it's not entirely over yet. Long trail. This is about, I don't know, a couple miles, I think, all around back to the beach, and then I'm gonna hike about 1.5 miles down the beach, over trees, in and around clumps of fallen earth from the banks that have fallen off from erosion over time. So I'll do a lot of video through there. I think I'll put on my headgear and move the camera for that point of view. I do have to change my shoes. I got some waterproof Crocs in the back because I know the tide is going out, but I want to make sure I've got plenty of room to navigate, and I don't want to get my feet wet because it's only about 60 degrees right now, so, which is beautiful, don't get me wrong, it's nice out, but when your feet are wet, yeah, it just makes for an uncomfortable day. So this is actually a pretty nice trail. It's pretty wide. You can see there's a lot of areas of mud, especially after a lot of rain. So all the roots and stuff are good for traction, but you still got to be careful you don't slide out on some of those muddy spots. But it's so wide you could almost drive a car back down through here. And you know what, honestly, that was dumb, because I think they do bring service trucks back here to maintain it, not gators but actual pickup trucks, for some of the bridge work that I'll show you in a little bit. Just under 1.5 miles so far, rolling pretty good. Should be down at the Potomac River in about 2 minutes.
So I finally made it down to the Potomac River, and this is where I need to do a quick shoe change, pop off the tennis shoes and throw on the hard bottom Crocs, and then repack everything, get everything situated, and start the second leg here, which is about 1.5 miles down the beach. And then I'm going to find a good spot to test out that small portable Ultralight backpackers fuel pod stove. So here we go.
All right, so after a little bit of changing out my shoes, putting things up, I'm gonna have to get a little wet now for the rest of the journey to get to where I want to go, test out some of the gear. So it's gonna be a little chilly, it's gonna be a little wet, but it's gonna be fun. I'm outdoors, not around people per se, and it's a good thing.
So this is just to give you an idea of what the shoreline looks like, even with the tide out. And there's a lot of driftwood, there's a lot of trees, narrow spots to climb through and get around. And I didn't want to film all of this, and I ran across a few people early on, but then after I passed those 3 or 4 people, there was nobody at all. Nobody likes to climb through everything that you see here and navigate around all this stuff, because it's a lot. It's a lot to go through, it's a lot to climb around. But if you want solitude and you want to get away from everyone, you got to work for it a little bit. You also got to make sure there's no trees falling on you either.
Getting to the spot that I want to get to is like a jungle gym for nature. The erosion here on the Potomac River, the southern portion of Charles County, is just unbelievable. I've hiked this probably 4 or 5 times since February of this year, 2020, and to see the destruction. A lot of these trees have tumbled. Look, this one here is just getting ready to come down. So, you know, I'm always cautious about walking too close. I've never seen anything fall per se while I've been here, you know, doing this type of a hike. But you still have to be very cautious on where you're climbing, what you're trying to get around, and what's around you. You noticed I did pass a couple people, a family and some kids who are out on the beach. I do have my face covering still around my neck, so I am wearing it if I get close to anybody. But I think from this point of where I'm at now, I usually don't run into anybody because not a lot of people want to take the time to climb through all of this jumbled up stuff to get down to the point that I'm going to, where I'm going to make some lunch. So I'm not going to video this whole thing. I know it's going to bore you to death, but I just kind of wanted to give you an idea through the hyper video, as well as me filming this, of this destruction of erosion. Oh look, there's an eagle. Hey buddy, just came out to say hi. Perfect timing. So I'm going to stop here, keep on getting where I need to go, and then we'll bring you back in so I can start my actual gear review today. Man, look at the debris, just the driftwood that floats up from the Potomac River. It's amazing how all this stuff piles up, builds up into the bank, and almost will create a whole new embankment when all this stuff starts to fall down again and repeat the cycle. It's just amazing. I mean, cedar trees, oak trees, you name it, everything is just falling off the edge here all the way down. Man, this thing has been here a very, very long time. That is one old tree that has been beaten down, smoothed out by the changing of the tides. Oh my God, I don't even know how old or how to tell how old this thing is, but that is one old tree. Several of them, several old trees mixed in with this pile of driftwood. Man, you can just tell they've been here for a long time. Soaking, full of salt water. God, I don't even imagine how heavy they are. But eventually, this body of water will pick them up and move them along. I'm completely dumbfounded at what this is. This is a monster piece of wood. This is a massive tree. I'm wondering if this thing fell off of one of the barges that come up through the Potomac River into DC and Baltimore. This thing is massive. That is one big tree. It is for this area, let me put it that way. When I did this hike for the very first time back in February of this year, this part of it on the seashore or the riverside, I was hiking along pretty deep into the hike like I am now. Really, most folks don't come down this far. If they do, I don't ever see them when I come down. To the point to where I got some photos on Instagram I took of, you can see where this, I figured this would have fallen by now, but it has not fallen. It's eroded away from the wall, the cliff face more, and my photograph I'm gonna put up in this video will show that. But that's not what amazed me. What amazed me, and I got a photograph to prove it, is this. How is that possible? When I first saw this tree, it was dead. And what I thought maybe happened is the tree fell off the top, tumbled down, flipped up, and then the erosion kind of caused it to go into the shoreline break again. Let me turn this around so I can actually see what I'm shooting here. But yeah, it is solid. This thing is, it's got thorns on. It is solidly planted in the shoreline, and it's blooming. It is blooming, as you can see. It is doing fantastic. This tree has survived now. Well, I don't know how long it was here before I saw it, but I'm blown away at its location, the fact that it's blooming again and it's alive. Never have I seen a tree grow in the break on a shoreline. They're always down like that, or they're piled up, or they're a jumbled mess. But prospering and growing and thriving, absolutely amazing to me. I'll see if I can't drop a screenshot of where this is, if anybody wants to hike down here and check it out for yourself. That was a big hike to get up to where I'm at. And even the wind here is kind of funky, but this is a little ultralight backpacker stove. Uses fuel tabs. So I'm gonna make sure I clear out a little area, contain my fuel inside the little stove, and I'm gonna cook myself a turkey sausage, fried egg, and cheese. Oh shit, I forgot the cheese. Turkey sausage, egg, mustard on a veggie wrap, you know, low carb thing. I'm gonna try to cook all that to see if I can do it over one of these fuel tabs. Pack everything up. I wanted to do it right down on the shore. It was zero wind, but I should have known better. There's always wind down here, always. There's no way that I'm even gonna get the fuel tab lit down there. So if I can't, I gotta make sure I can do an area here where I can control everything. I'm very close. I got a bottle of water with me and I'm gonna monitor it, but I'm using my pan. I'm not building an open fire. But I do want to test this thing out. It's a great day for it. I'm hungry and it's time. So let's see what I can do. Okay, so that is lit. It's going pretty good there. Did it make it? Let's see. I wrapped up and it made it with no cracks. Impressive. Mustard. And we got some turkey sausages here. So far so good. Putting out some good heat there. Sausages are sizzling in the pan. So that first tab lasted about, I don't know, 5 minutes, if that. I just added a second tab because it completely burned very quickly, very hot. No sparks, no embers, no nothing. So it burns them up very quickly. I will say that. Once they catch, they burn hot. I mean, this thing burns really, really hot. Really fast, really hot. But again, it puts out no sparks, no smoke, like you would if you were using a solo stove. You have to worry about embers flying or something like that. There it is, it caught pretty quick. And we'll put these right back on and keep cooking them. But yeah, nothing at all. It's very well contained fire in this little box. So, and that was my concern too, was I got to put it out real quick, but no, it's working good. I mean, we got. Alrighty, can't even tell that I was fixing anything here. Completely, besides being wet, completely back to normal again. So, I think I'm going to end this video here, where I'm at. I mean, this is such a beautiful spot. I'm on top of the cliff, not close to the edge. God forbid that thing should fall off where I'm at. But with the wind, and I got to go back the same way I came in, makes for pretty kind of the same video I shot coming in. So I'm not going to bore you with that. I think this is where I will zoom in with some photos of or video of the actual stove that I used, and those little fuel pods that I have. You know, they put out no smoke, but you know they're chemical based, and you know that they're emitting chemicals. It burns very quick. I didn't smell anything at all. So do your research when you buy, you know, the fuel pods like that and what you're using. They do burn very fast and very hot. I don't think I would use the stove all the time. I like my solo stove. I use that a lot. I'm gonna do a gear review, even though there's a bunch out there. There's none out there like mine. So I'm gonna do a gear review on my solo stove because I really like that. The fact that it's you know, it burns all debris anywhere on the ground. Twig stove, whatever you want to call it. It's a bush stove. I really like that. I do like this one though. You know, if you were in a survival situation or you didn't have any other means, you know, it's up to you if you want to use it or not. It's not very heavy duty construction wise. I would say it's more of a flimsy sheet metal put together, but it did the job. I will give it that. It definitely did the job. Unlike my solo stove, I didn't have to worry about embers falling out and rolling around. I didn't have to worry about sparks coming out and catching something else on fire and having to deal with that. It was very easy to control and you know, manipulate that stove while I was making my lunch, which was good, by the way. I just wish I remembered the damn cheese. Anyway, a cool little stove, 10 bucks, 10, 11 bucks on Amazon. I'll put the link up of the screenshot of when I bought it. I've just had it for a long time, and it was always one of those, you know, throw in my backpack, throw on my motorcycle, just in case I need a stove. I've got something to go to. You know, fuel pod burn or not, I've got something that I can boil water with. I wanted to do that. I wanted to boil, I brought a little Coleman metal cup with me to boil some water, but it's so windy, man. I was afraid that cup would be so hot with the flames shooting around it. I should have brought a glove or something. So, you know, yeah, use a pot. I'm sure it'll boil water. I know it will boil water because that thing burned hot. But I wouldn't recommend just putting a a coffee cup on there like I was, a metal coffee cup, because there's no way to really grab it and use it afterwards unless you have a glove on. You're gonna forget and you're gonna burn the crap out of yourself, so don't do it. Use a pot. I didn't bring one, but stove works. And it will stay in my arsenal, and I will use it in the event one of my other ones craps out on me or doesn't work. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate you coming along. I hope it was you know, good content for you. At least got you through lunchtime, something to watch, something different during the pandemic. Be safe. Subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.